Hey guys, good morning. This is Steve Wolbach, your friendly public adjuster. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the different types of homeowners policies. There are several different types. What I'm going to talk about as a homeowner would be there's three general ones that normally the categories people fit into. And as time goes on, they are dropping the very rock bottom one and going to the two others. But for the time being, we'll talk about all three. And the difference between the policies, besides the fact that there will be a premium difference, and depending on from company to company, it's certain dollars. I'm not equipped to talk about what the actual pricing of any of that is. I'm just talking about what type of coverage, which would be the effectiveness of them. Depending on the type of home that you have, it may be important that you have a certain type of policy versus another. Now, the difference between the policies is the fact of the amount of coverage of the different perils that the policy will cover. So, perils, if you haven't seen my thing on perils, that's something that maybe I need to do it again. I did that some time ago, a little talk on perils. But a peril, real quick, is an incident that occurs that would then cause damage to your property that the insurance company would recognize. And when it happens in a certain way, the insurance company will pay on that. So there's basically between 16, 17 perils, depending on who you talk to. Let's go with 16 for the moment, for sakes and purposes here. But of those 16, initially, the rock bottom policy covers you for 10. And, with those 10, I'll give you a couple quick examples. One would be fire. Okay. Another one would be smoke. And of course, where there's fire, there's smoke. Another one would be falling objects. So you get the idea. Another one would be vandalism. So those are named perils, and the insurance company, as I say, when it happens in a certain condition, they then will pay. There's coverage in the policy to pay on those. I think the apocalyptic, what is that? The zombie attack. I did see there's a commercial before where they talk about, they will cover that, but they won't cover the guy's hot water heater. Well, hot water heater is not covered. That's true. When the hot water heater goes, the expense of paying for the hot water heater is not going to be covered. But neither is that apocalyptic attack of the, what are those things called? Yeah, I just said it. Those guys, zombies. That's it. I'm not much of a zombie follower, so that's tough for me to remember. Anyway, so that's your basic policy. That is really a horrible policy because it only pays on certain, and the dollar values of the limits that you're getting paid on is minimal. Then you have the middle grade one. Now that will take you from the 10, you get the 10, plus you will get the upgraded to the other 16, other 6, giving you the 16 perils. So there will be a little bit of a condition with that though, too. You have to be careful. So you do get better coverage when you're in the middle grade. But when you are, for a quick example, where you're limited is if you're in the middle grade section and you have a flat roof and there is a leak in the roof, but there is no visible opening. You cannot see an actual hole that is, where the water has been getting in. It's just getting in through some little seam somehow, and you're not able to easily detect that. That policy will not give you, then you do not have coverage. You must have, the language is a visible opening. Okay, so that's the middle grade policy. Then if you go to the better policy, and there is another one on top of that, but as I say, for the sake of conversation here, we're going to stop at the 3 levels. The majority of people, the other one are for houses that are, $1 million plus, and, really up there. your typical household is not living in that $1 million+ house, so that you would not have that type of policy. So with that being said, if you have the better policy, now, for example, if you do have a leak on the roof, that's okay. Doesn't matter how it's getting in. There's water in there, obviously. We just had rain. That's going to be covered. So that would be the better policy to have. Well, I mean, that way you're completely covered all the way around, rather than somebody be able to say that, well, we would have paid on it if... That way, if you go to the better policy and the dollar difference, yes, there's a dollar difference. But if you would weigh that against having a claim at some point, and that's what we're doing, it's a bet. You're saying that you're going to have an issue, and that's why you want this coverage. The insurance company says through all their numbers and statistics and averages that you won't, and because of that, they will give you that policy at that level. Of course, in the event that you do, they will pay out on that, provided you meet the conditions. And you have somebody like someone that's friendly that would work with you. I don't know. That friendly guy, Steve Wolbach, the friendly public adjuster. So listen, guys, I hope that you learned something today. There are 3 basic homeowners policies. We're not talking about renters. We're not talking about landlord policies. We're not talking about condos. We're talking about typical single family dwellings is what we're talking about. And that is what a homeowner's policy would be. Actually, it can go up to 4 different units, but we're not getting into that. So, guys, if you learned something, can you give me one of these, please? I could really use one today. And if you would you please that's liking the page. Would you share the page? Share that with others. I think that's good information for people to know. Let's spread that around to everyone we can. High and low, let everyone know. Oh, that's a little jingle now. Thank you for listening. I will be doing more, and I appreciate all the support. Guys, go out there and have a great day. God bless you.